Get ready for a thrilling new chapter in the Yellowstone saga. As Yellowstone 1944 takes us back to the roots of the Dutton legacy, powerful new characters and intense family drama await. Curious about the untold story behind the Duttons? Wondering how this spin-off dives into America's turbulent history? Join us as we explore what this epic new series promises for 2025 and beyond. Yellowstone 1944 is set to take viewers back in time to a period that is essential to understanding the origins of the Dutton family, whose story has been central to the Yellowstone universe. The series is intended to be a prequel, providing a deep dive into the Duttons' history and how their empire in Montana came to be. It is important to recognize that this spin-off is not just a continuation of the existing Yellowstone storyline, but rather a separate piece of the larger puzzle that paints a complete picture of the Dutton family's journey. The series focuses on pivotal moments in the family's past that influence the future we see in the main Yellowstone series. Set in the 1940s, a time marked by significant social and political changes, the period depicted in Yellowstone 1944 will likely bring a different atmosphere compared to the modern-day struggles portrayed in the original series. This historical context will play a major role in the direction of the plot, with the Dutton family possibly navigating the complexities of a post-World War II world. As the Dutton family, led by their ancestors, faces external and internal challenges, the series will show how these events shape the dynasty we see in the main show. This exploration of the Dutton family's roots is key to understanding how the family's land and influence grew to what we see today in Yellowstone, offering more depth and insight into the characters' motivations and actions across generations. Aside from the historical and familial elements, the upcoming spin-off also promises to introduce new characters who are essential to the development of the Dutton legacy. These characters will likely represent different perspectives from the past, each with their own motivations, desires, and struggles. The introduction of these figures is designed to build on the foundation of the Dutton family's story, adding layers of complexity to the Yellowstone universe. Another significant part of the series is how it will address broader themes of family loyalty, land ownership, and the personal and political dynamics that have always been central to Yellowstone. The original series is known for its intense portrayal of family drama, and Yellowstone 1944 is expected to continue that tradition while highlighting how these issues evolved over time. Ultimately, the main focus of the spin-off is to bridge the gap between the origins of the Dutton family and the challenges they face in the present day. Through compelling storylines and a rich historical backdrop, Yellowstone 1944 aims to provide audiences with a deeper understanding of the characters and the legacy that has shaped their lives. Whether it's the personal stories of the Dutton ancestors or the larger historical context in which they live, this spin-off will likely serve to enrich the larger Yellowstone narrative, offering new layers of depth and intrigue. Yellowstone 1944 trailer contribute to expanding the Yellowstone universe. Focuses on how the newly released trailer for the spin-off series plays a key role in building anticipation and deepening the narrative within the larger Yellowstone franchise. In essence, this question explores how the trailer introduces new elements and plot points that not only capture the attention of existing fans, but also expand the universe in a way that connects past, present, and future storylines. First, it's important to understand the concept of the Yellowstone universe. The franchise, created by Taylor Sheridan, includes multiple series and spin-offs that revolve around the Dutton family, their land, and the conflicts surrounding them. The original series, Yellowstone, which premiered in 2018, follows John Dutton, played by Kevin Costner, the head of the Dutton family, as he struggles to maintain control over his ranch in Montana while navigating political, social, and family dynamics. Given the series' success, the franchise has grown to include several prequels, like 1883 and 1923, each of which explores different periods in the Dutton family's history. The release of Yellowstone 1944 is another step in expanding this universe by diving even deeper into the past. The trailer for Yellowstone 1944 serves as an essential tool in introducing the new spin-off to audiences. It sets the tone, provides glimpses of the setting, and teases the overarching themes and conflicts that will unfold. By doing so, the trailer plays a critical role in continuing to develop the larger narrative of the Dutton family saga. It's through this promotional material that fans get their first taste of the historical period, the new characters, and the familial dynamics that will define the series. The trailer's primary purpose is to draw viewers into the story, and it does so by highlighting key aspects that are crucial for expanding the Yellowstone universe. For example, the trailer might showcase sweeping shots of Montana, capturing the natural beauty and vast landscapes that are a hallmark of the Yellowstone series. These visuals not only set the stage for the action, but also provide a connection to the broader setting in which the Dutton family's legacy unfolds. The wilderness of Montana, with its rugged mountains and open plains, has always been a character in itself within the series, and showing this landscape in a historical context helps bridge the gap between past and present. Additionally, the trailer introduces new characters that will be central to the plot of Yellowstone 1944. The inclusion of these characters expands the universe by adding depth to the historical narrative. Each character, likely with their own motivations and backstories, plays a role in shaping the events that influence the Dutton family's rise to power. By introducing these individuals early on, the trailer allows the audience to begin speculating about their roles in the larger story, making them more invested in the series before it even airs. This technique not only raises interest, but also sparks discussions among fans, as they begin to make connections between the new characters and those from previous Yellowstone shows. The trailer also sets up the series' exploration of themes such as family loyalty, land ownership, and power. These themes have been central to the Yellowstone franchise from the beginning, and they will likely continue to be key elements in Yellowstone 1944. By highlighting moments of tension and conflict in the trailer, the audience is reminded of the stakes involved in the Dutton family's journey, both historically and in the present day. The trailer serves as a teaser of the intense family drama that fans of the original series have come to expect, while also hinting at the unique historical circumstances of 1944 that will shape the Duttons' legacy. Moreover, the trailer emphasizes the historical context of the series, which sets it apart from the modern-day Yellowstone story. In 1944, the world was emerging from the devastation of World War I, and America was in the midst of significant social and economic change. This backdrop presents an exciting opportunity to explore the Dutton family's evolution and their role in shaping the landscape of Montana during a critical time in history. The trailer might hint at the challenges the family faces as they navigate the turbulent political and social atmosphere of the post-war era, adding another layer of complexity to the Yellowstone universe. Another way the trailer expands the Yellowstone universe is through its connection to previous spin-offs. As fans of 1883 and 1923 already know, these shows explore different periods of the Dutton family's history, and Yellowstone 1944 will likely continue this tradition by providing more insight into the generations that came before John Dutton. Each spin-off adds new layers to the overall narrative, offering viewers a chance to see how the family's story unfolds over time. By linking the 1944 period to the broader Dutton legacy, the trailer for Yellowstone 1944 helps weave the threads of history together, making the entire universe feel more interconnected. Finally, the trailer contributes to the excitement surrounding the release of the spin-off by building anticipation for the eventual premiere. It gives fans a taste of what's to come, showing just enough to keep them intrigued without giving away too many plot details. This careful balance of providing information while maintaining mystery is a key element of the marketing strategy for the series. The trailer invites viewers to engage with the series on a deeper level, sparking questions about the characters' fates, the historical events that will shape their lives, and how this new chapter will fit into the larger Yellowstone narrative. In conclusion, the Yellowstone 1944 trailer plays a pivotal role in expanding the Yellowstone universe by introducing key historical elements, new characters, and overarching themes that will be explored in the spin-off. It deepens the audience's connection to the Dutton family's legacy, enriching the narrative of the larger franchise. By providing glimpses of the past and hinting at the dramatic events to come, The trailer serves as an essential tool in building excitement and anticipation for the series, while also connecting the dots between the past and present in the Yellowstone universe. Yellowstone 1944 spin-off dives into the heart of what will make Yellowstone 1944 unique, even as it expands upon the overarching Yellowstone universe. The introduction of new characters and storylines is an essential part of any prequel or spin-off, as it brings fresh perspectives and new conflicts, while still connecting to the familiar themes that fans have come to love in the original Yellowstone series. The question asks what audiences should anticipate in terms of character development and narrative arcs in this latest chapter of the Dutton family saga. To understand how Yellowstone 1944 will present these new characters and storylines, it's necessary to reflect on the context of the time period it is set in, 1944. This was a year in the midst of World War I, a turbulent time in history that left deep social, political, and economic scars. The events of the time will likely play a significant role in shaping both the new characters introduced in Yellowstone 1944 and the storylines that drive the series forward. Set against the backdrop of post-war America, the characters in Yellowstone 1944 will navigate the changing landscape, from shifting political power to social changes that affected the everyday lives of people. At the center of the spin-off, as with the rest of the Yellowstone franchise, will likely be the family dynamics of the Duttons. While the original series primarily focuses on John Dutton and his children in the present day, Yellowstone 1944 will likely turn to a previous generation, giving audiences a closer look at the Dutton family's origins and the events that shaped their rise to power. Fans can expect to meet the ancestors of John Dutton, the people who laid the groundwork for the family's future. These new Duttons will bring fresh blood to the story, and they will likely be portrayed as complex, multidimensional characters with their own motivations and flaws. The trailer for Yellowstone 1944 has likely already given a hint of these new characters, though much remains a mystery. They could include patriarchal figures, like a predecessor to John Dutton, who may be struggling to establish control over the land while navigating both external and internal pressures. Perhaps they will showcase strong-willed matriarchs, whose decisions will affect the course of the family's future. These figures might also experience conflicts over the family's land, their vision for the future, and their relationships with the people around them. How they interact with one another, and how they grapple with the consequences of their actions will likely form the emotional core of the series. While the Duttons will undoubtedly remain the focal point, other key characters are likely to be introduced, characters who are either allies or adversaries to the Duttons. In a time like 1944, where World War I had recently ended and America was facing its own internal conflicts, these characters might include government officials, military veterans, landowners, or even local residents whose lives intersect with the Dutton family's ambitions. These characters will have their own backgrounds, motivations, and allegiances that could either support or oppose the Duttons, adding layers of tension to the narrative. One can expect that these new characters will also reflect the complexities of the 1940s, which was a time of transition. The country was moving from the wartime economy to a post-war era, and the social fabric of America was evolving in profound ways. The racial, political, and economic dynamics of the 1940s will likely be explored through these characters, offering audiences a fresh lens through which to view the Yellowstone universe. For instance, the role of women, who are beginning to take on new roles in society during the war, might be explored through strong female characters within the Dutton family or those who come into contact with them. Similarly, the question of land ownership and territorial disputes, always central to the Yellowstone series, will take on new significance in a 1940s context, where issues related to Native American rights and post-war land policies might come to the forefront. The storyline itself will likely be driven by the push and pull between the Duttons' desire for power, control over the land, and the external forces that threaten to take it from them. In the 1940s, these could be represented by other wealthy landowners, government officials, or even the changing societal norms of the time. The economic effects of the war, coupled with the challenges of maintaining a large ranch in a rapidly changing world, will undoubtedly create high-stakes drama for the characters. Fans can anticipate conflicts within the Dutton family over how best to preserve their legacy, as well as challenges from outside forces trying to undermine their control. Additionally, a key aspect of Yellowstone 1944 will likely be the historical context in which the Duttons operate. The post-WWII period was a time of reconstruction and realignment of American values and politics. In Montana, where much of the series is set, these changes would have had a direct impact on how land and power were contested. The rise of corporate interests and new forms of governance could bring tensions to the surface, and the Duttons would likely find themselves caught between preserving the family's traditional way of life and adapting to the rapidly changing world around them. In terms of themes, fans can expect many of the same thematic elements that have defined the Yellowstone universe: loyalty, family, power, and survival. However, because the spin-off is set in a different era, those themes will likely take on new shades of meaning. For instance, the question of what it means to be a Dutton in the 1940s may be different from the 21st century, with different societal pressures, moral dilemmas, and external conflicts shaping their actions. The new characters, each with their own motivations and personal struggles, will bring these themes to life in fresh ways. In conclusion, fans of Yellowstone 1944 can expect the introduction of compelling new characters that add richness and complexity to the already vast Yellowstone universe. These characters will bring their own backgrounds, conflicts, and perspectives to the table, all while being shaped by the historical context of the 1940s. Whether it's through family drama, political intrigue, or personal struggles, these new characters will play pivotal roles in shaping the storylines of the series, adding layers to the Dutton family's already complex legacy. As the series unfolds, viewers will see how the decisions and actions of these characters impact the Duttons' future, setting the stage for the events that will ultimately lead to the modern-day conflicts explored in Yellowstone. Yellowstone 1944 spin-off focuses on understanding the setting of the new series and how the historical backdrop of 1944 influences the storylines, characters, and themes. The time period in which Yellowstone 1944 is set during a significant chapter in American and world history will be crucial to how the Dutton family's journey is portrayed. In exploring this context, viewers can expect to see how the events of the 1940s, particularly the aftermath of World War I, shape the characters, their motivations, and the landscape of power, land ownership, and family dynamics. To understand the historical context of Yellowstone 1944, it is important to first place the series within the broader context of American history. The 1940s were a pivotal decade, not only because of the global conflict of World War II, but also due to the social, political, and economic changes that followed the war. The war itself, which lasted from 1939 to 1945, had profound effects on almost every aspect of life in the United States, including the country's economy, workforce, gender roles, and international relations. When Yellowstone 1944 begins, the United States was transitioning from a wartime economy to a post-war society, and the country's citizens were grappling with the changes brought on by the end of the conflict. In terms of the economic landscape, the 1940s were marked by the effects of wartime production, followed by the post-war boom. During the war, the United States saw an economic shift as factories and industries were converted to wartime production, and millions of Americans were employed in new, often unconventional jobs. However, by the time the war ended, the country faced the challenge of reintegrating soldiers back into the civilian workforce, adjusting to the cessation of war-related production, and transitioning to a peacetime economy. The agricultural and industrial sectors, particularly in rural areas like Montana, were impacted by these transitions. The availability of resources, the shift in labor forces, and the financial struggles of small businesses and family-run farms and ranches would all play a part in shaping the challenges faced by the Dutton family in the 1940s. For a family like the Duttons, whose story revolves around land ownership and ranching, the historical context of the 1940s would be especially significant. The end of World War I also marked a period of land disputes and changes in the agricultural economy. The United States government was heavily involved in land policies, including new laws and regulations that affected farming and ranching. Federal programs aimed at stabilizing agriculture and encouraging growth in certain sectors would have had a direct impact on families like the Duttons, as they sought to maintain control of their land while navigating the shifting political and economic environment. At the same time, the growing influence of corporate agriculture and new industrial interests could have posed new threats to smaller, family-owned operations, making it more difficult for the Duttons to preserve their way of life. The broader societal changes in the 1940s also played a role in shaping the historical context of Yellowstone 1944. This was a decade when American society was undergoing significant transformation. The aftermath of World War I saw a rise in suburbanization, as many Americans moved away from rural areas to cities in search of better economic opportunities. The 1940s were also a time of social upheaval, with changes in family structures, gender roles, and race relations. During the war, women had entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers, and many were employed in positions traditionally held by men. This shift in gender roles, which had been a necessity during the war, was not easily undone after the conflict ended. The series may explore how this shift impacts the Dutton family, particularly the roles of women within the family and on the ranch.